Reverend Dr. Simon Haruna. I hail from Chori land, one of the districts before in the then Koi jurisdiction in Hamland. And by God's grace, I'm married to a wife, and God has blessed us with children. Well, though I'm not all that old enough to have the true history of these people called Ham, but over the years, even while we were yet small or little children, indeed we do hear stories, and we believe our parents were telling us what they have seen and what they have heard. Ham people seem have a very relating historic events that has to cut across not only here in Nigeria but even in Africa as large. Ham people are so good, so wonderful. Even the settlement, let's begin from there. We are grateful to the Lord because God has given us a land that rounded with a lot of hills and mountains. We have good riverine areas. We have good landscape, and so actually the way even Ham people are were designated by the Lord. Then the unity. I grew up and I heard our fathers telling us that Ham people have never been defeated by war and has never been ruled by any people. Even during the time Emirate of Ezezo seemed to have captured many other people closer to us, even Long Zongo, Kateb area, whatever. Ham people were never touched. So we have a kind of a unique setting and a unique leadership or rulership that has spanned over the years. And so these Ham people, they're united, and I've never had also any time that maybe disunity occurred to the point that it led to maybe fighting each other. Or I've never heard of it. We've been having one paramount ruler, and God has been helping us in this Ham land, living peacefully. But like I've mentioned earlier, that we have some specific and unique values found among Ham people. Let me begin with the issue of oneness. Anywhere you go in this country, Nigeria, once you meet somebody who calls himself a Ham man or Ham woman, right within that time, you begin to see the rapport will change, the countenance will change, virtually everything about the discussion will change because you embrace each other as if you're from the same womb. So that oneness cut across the various clans we have within Hamland. People don't bother about it. Once you say you're a Ham person, you could see the love, you could see embracing one another and saying, look, we are one. No differences. Apart from this oneness, morally, we've known Ham people as people very loyal. Very loyal. They so much respect leadership, they so much respect elders. Anywhere a Ham person is and he has somebody over him, there's that submissiveness, a kind of we want to show respect. So this value, that you don't look at yourself as if, even no matter how you are placed educationally, or maybe you have, so to say, you are wealthy. Once you see your senior, there's that virtue in harm people. You always step down to respect the elderly ones. Apart from that, I've also seen this value of, apart from the respect, you could see hard working. Hard working. We're known as people like farmers. Our parents taught us to farm. We grew up and we saw them farming. In fact, farming has been the major kind of vocation that we've seen in our parents. That's actually, well, even though we can say there's a very fast growth or improvement in the issue of the knowledge of God, compare the then time with ours. As it is now, we have so many ministers of the gospel, so many people have been called into the ministry, and we could see the number of Christian maybe enlarging. We could see the number of churches increasing. Yes, we indeed thank God for that. But maybe people associate it to say because of the end time we're in. And when we talk of discipline, and when we talk of real Christianity, not just talking with the mouth, we have the voice, or we have the speech that we are Christian, but to actualize it practically, I think the then generation seem to carry the best. Because in those days, though they didn't know God deeply, they didn't really understand the whole, maybe the deeper concept about Christianity. But when they heard about Christianity and they embraced it, they feared God. They really feared the Lord. And especially the way they carried themselves amongst the clergy who were there. You could see that, look, the honor was there. They look at the men of God like God. So they would not like to be found in any atrocity. But these days, even in the presence of the pastors, some young people, some young boys and girls wouldn't bother. They can abuse the pastor right in his face, point fingers at him. But before, no, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. And not only like that, the way they embrace Christianity and the way they were eager to serve God, coming before God. When you hear somebody has really repented and turned from paganism, serving God, or becoming a Christian, when you just go closer to the person, you see that it's from the heart, that they're doing this from their heart. Not as in our generation today, one hand you're Christian, the other hand you're still there battling with your sin and with hypocrisy. I was told of a story that time by one man whom I worked together. By then I was a civil servant. He told me that when Christianity came in the land of Ham, though there were judges sent by government of federation who were settling issues. He told me that story and I was so much surprised. He said, whenever maybe a case is come up in the court, then the judge will call anybody called a Christian, and they'll ask him, what do you have to say about this matter? Once that Christian says his mind, the judge will say the case is closed. So that's to show exactly that they believe that Christian has truth. A Christian has truth in his mouth. So when he speaks, that thing stands. But today, it's unfortunate. Many people, when they say yes, they actually mean no. But they are Christian, they are in the church. When a Christian says yes, he actually means no. So you tend to wonder, as if this Christianity, we supposed to have maybe upgraded it by a virtue of living standard, but then I think the reverse seems to be the case. So to me, I'm talking to me myself now. This is my own view or opinion that I think though the knowledge has increased about Christianity in our generation, but in the then generation, they really feared God more than us. Of recent, I tumbled into one write-up by one German in 1976 that he came to my village, stayed there for some years, and wrote a book, The History of Chori People. So not until last year, one of my friends in UK linked me up to that very document. I saw the document, I was surprised. Said they hosted him and they never wanted him to leave. So, and we have seen that also happening. I'm talking of these are white people or white men. But in Hamland, we could see that issue of embracing strangers is still there. We have Igbos in our land, we have Yoruba in our land. Virtually most of the people who are not within Hamland, some of them are there, they've established there, some of them have built houses and they have become like indigenous of Hamland. So that culture is there, that very virtue is there up to now, that they are lovers of people, even whether strangers or not. And I'm not too surprised. What happens sometimes in Jama local government and Zongo, most of them, they trip into Hamla. They say, we know where we can find peace, we know where we can find acceptance. And so they came and they stayed. Some of them didn't go back. Some of them are still there up to now because of the way Ham people welcome them. I feel bad when I look at let's begin with the development. Actually, going by antecedents of Ham people, one should expect that by now we should have developed more than this. Though we seem not to see government presence in Ham land. We don't know the reason. And it's not as if we've not had our people who God has blessed and they were there in authority. I think our politicians need to take stocks, look back and see where did we get it wrong? What is happening to us? That we cannot really lay hand on real projects embarked upon by government in Hamland. Despite the fact, even if the issue of the peace I'm talking about, we're supposed to be compensated. That we're able to live peacefully. Nothing like maybe all this rancor, the fighting. We've not recorded any in Hamland. I think we're supposed to be compensated. So I think our politicians have a role to play. They should have to sit back. Let's forget the differences we have, party affiliation. Let's look at Ham people, Ham land as the priority. If we do that, I think we will go somewhere. And then one thing I have just said, I was once a civil servant. The way petitions will be, people will be writing petition any moment a Ham man is given a responsibility, whether at the local government level, state government level, or federal government level, petitions upon petition. No matter what, even if that person may be bad, is your brother. Is your brother. If there will be something that will slay somebody, not you that will slay your brother. No matter how, I think you can call that brother and able to speak sense to him rather than castigating. And so at the end of the whole thing, government sometimes will say, well, since this is the issue, so you're fighting one another, we will retrieve our position or post that we're giving to you.